Qabalah is a map of how reality comes into existence. It explains how consciousness descends from pure divine essence into thought, emotion, energy, and eventually physical form. When people talk about as above, so below, this is the system that actually shows how that happens. The word Qabalah means that which is received. It refers to a body of wisdom that was passed down for thousands of years, originally through initiates and mystics who understood the mechanics of creation. It is not a religion and it is not tied to any one culture. Qabalah is a metaphysical science. It teaches the structure behind all existence. At the center of Qabalah is the Tree of Life. This is a diagram made of 10 spheres and 22 connecting pathways. These form 32 paths of consciousness, describing every stage of spiritual growth, manifestation, healing, and self-realization. Before looking at the tree itself, it's important to understand how Qabalah views creation. Everything arises through 4 distinct layers of reality called the 4 worlds. Atziluth is the highest of the 4. It is pure divinity, infinite potential before it becomes anything specific. In Atziluth, nothing has form. There is only the essence of being. Every creative impulse begins here. Below Atziluth is Briah, the world of creation. Briah introduces structure. Here, the original divine impulse becomes an archetype, an idea, a blueprint. This is the realm associated with archangels, not as winged beings, but as vast intelligences that hold the patterns of existence. The third world is Yetzirah, the world of formation. In Yetzirah, those archetypal patterns begin to take shape as energy. This is the realm of emotions, astral images, symbolic intelligence, and subtle forces. Call it the energetic architecture beneath physical reality. Finally, the fourth world is Assiah, the world of action. This is the physical plane, bodies, time, objects, and tangible life experiences. It's the final expression of something that began as pure essence. These 4 stages mirror your own existence. Your highest self corresponds to Atziluth. Your intuition, inspiration, and higher mind correspond to Briah. Your emotions, subconscious patterns, and energetic field live in Yetzirah. Your physical life, behavior, and circumstances operate in Assiah. The 4 worlds give you a way to trace where a pattern begins and how it becomes your experience. Now we can bring our attention to the 10 Sephirot, the 10 spheres of consciousness on the Tree of Life. These are not planets or chakras. They are stages of divine energy stepping itself down through the 4 worlds. Each sphere represents a level of consciousness you already move through, whether you realize it or not. Kether is the first Sephirah, the crown. It is pure essence. The undivided I am before identity forms. From Kether, energy differentiates into 2 polarities. Chakma is pure dynamic force, the outward surge of creation, the active principle. Bina is pure structure, the container, the form-giving principle, the receptive intelligence. These 3 together form the supernal triad, the highest band of consciousness. As energy descends, it becomes more specific. Chesed expresses expansion, generosity, and flow. Geburah expresses boundaries, clarity, and necessary contraction. Tifereth is the integrator, the harmonizing center of the tree, associated with truth, the soul, and heart-level alignment. Below this, the energy splits again. Netzach governs emotional power, instinct, and creative drive. Hod governs thought, language, reasoning, and mental patterns. Yesod is the subconscious field where impressions collect, form, and crystallize into energetic templates. Finally, Maketh is the physical world, the manifested result. It is the solidification of everything that comes before it. This entire descent from Kether to Maketh represents the movement of consciousness into matter, and also the path that consciousness takes when it awakens and returns to its source. Alongside the Sephirot, there are 22 Hebrew letters. These are not simply characters in an alphabet. In Qabalah, each letter is a metaphysical force, a vibrational principle that shapes reality. Letters are the building blocks of creation. They form divine names, and those names anchor specific frequencies into existence. The letters fall into three groups. The three mother letters represent the elements of air, fire, and water, the original conditions of creation. The 7 double letters correspond to the classical planets, expressing the major forces that govern human experience such as will, love, communication, discipline, and expansion. The 12 single letters represent the zodiacal archetypes, the diverse styles of expression that consciousness uses to experience the world. When you combine the 10 Sephirot with the 22 letters, you get the 32 paths of wisdom. These paths describe every possible movement of consciousness. They correspond to psychological patterns, spiritual initiations, intuitive awakenings, challenges, breakthroughs, and cycles of healing. Every major moment in your life, whether it feels like expansion, contraction, clarity, confusion, breakthrough, or collapse, corresponds to a specific Sephirah or path. This is why the Tree of Life is such a powerful tool. It gives context to your experiences. It shows where you are, what you're learning, and what energy is being activated. The tree is not external. It is internal. It is the pattern of your mind, your soul, your relationships, your growth, and your embodiment. Once you learn this structure, you can diagnose challenges, accelerate healing, deepen intuition, understand your emotional and mental patterns, and navigate life with far more precision and clarity. The Tree of Life is the blueprint behind it all. And learning to work with this blueprint is the first step toward mastering Qabalah.